Peace and blessings, brothers and sisters, Facebook family, friends, and YouTubers. This is Miss Yo, Truth and Love, and I'm back with another video. I pray that all is well with you and that you're being blessed and enriched in every area of your lives according to the word of the Most High and according to His promises, and that you are also seeking to include the Most High Yah in every area and decision that you make in your lives. Well, as you can see on my screen here, there is a video of Martin Luther King's last speech, I've Been to the Mountaintop. And the date here is April 3rd. And I think that this April 5th protest is related to what happened to Dr. King in 1968, and I decided to make a video about it. Hopefully it will help you if you are deciding to go out to participate. But if you look in my videos that have been released about a week ago or within the past week, I released another video entitled April 5th is a No-No. Go in your house and lock your door. I really do believe that the Spirit of the Most High is moving among our people, the people labeled as black in the United States of America and in colonial nations or nations that were once colonized. However, I believe, according to Deuteronomy 28, we are the people who are the descendants of the ancient Israelites scattered to the four corners of the earth. Okay, so the reason I think this is significant and is more than a coincidence is that, of course, it's the day after Dr. King was assassinated, but I want to show you some other information that I found. Okay, so this year in 2025, April 12th, 2025 to Sunday, April 20th, 2025 is Passover. And before I continue, I just ask the Most High to bless the words that I'm saying. Let them be the words that He puts in my mouth, and that He will bless the hearers of the word, and that understanding will come to us all in Yahweh's name. Now let's continue. Okay, in 1968, Passover began in the diaspora, and that's outside of Israel. And the state of Israel may not be where ancient Israel was located. That land was given to the people that are currently occupying Israel according to the Balfour Declaration. You can look that up if you want more information on it, but that land was given for them to create that state in the early 1900s. Okay, so Passover began April 12th and ended on April 20th. That's the same year that Dr. King was taken from the earth. Okay, and Passover, of course, commemorates the story of the Exodus, where the ancient Israelites were freed from slavery in Egypt. And the Most High had already given me this information. You know, from reading the Bible, you can see that. But I'm using AI because it provides information that I can show on screen and you can read it. And it also provides other historical information. Okay, so other events in 1968, the New York Times reported on the start of Passover with rabbis comparing the plight of Negroes with the Israelites. But the secret that the world has been keeping, that the Most High is allowing to come out now, is that the Negroes, the people called Negroes scattered to the four corners of the world, are actually indeed the descendants of the ancient Israelites. It's a bloodline descendant. Judaism is a religion and anyone can convert to that. But to be an actual Israelite or a descendant, you have to have the DNA in your bloodline. Okay, now, Freedom Cedars in 1968 and 1969, a new kind of Passover cedar called the Freedom Cedar was created partly in response to the crisis of American democracy in those years, including the murder of Dr. Martin Luther King on April 4th, 1968. Now, I find it interesting that this says the crisis of American democracy in those years, because we are currently having a crisis in American democracy right now. So things that we think might be a coincidence are not necessarily a coincidence. They are a coincidence. And it's possible that the people that organized this march or this protest are aware of that. Okay, now let's go ahead and look at um, some more information about the Passover. Okay, so here under AI, it says the Passover lamb sacrifice or Korban Pesach was a key ritual in ancient Judaism, where Israelites sacrificed the lamb and marked their doorposts with this blood to be spared from the final plague in Egypt leading to the Exodus. Okay, so let me clarify something. What the ancient Israelites did was not a religion. It was not Judaism. Okay, um, Judah was one of the tribes of the 12 tribes of Israel. Israelites were the entire 12 tribes. Okay, they've been scattered, the entire 12 tribes, to the four corners of the world. This was their lifestyle and their culture based on their relationship with the Most High Yah. There was no Judaism when they did the first Passover. Okay, so we'll go ahead and look at this. The Passover lamb represented the Israelites' deliverance from slavery and the passing over of the death angel. So you had to put the blood on the doorposts. And the lamb that they roasted was eaten with unleavened bread and bitter herbs. And the Israelites were instructed to be ready to travel with their cloaks tucked in, sandals on, and staffs in hand. And we're going to read that from the actual word in a moment. Now, it says that the ritual sacrifice is no longer practiced by the vast majority of rabbinic Jews. The Passover lamb remains a central symbol of the holiday, with the roasted shank bone often used at the Seder meal as symbolic representation. Now, when the Messiah did the Passover, he used bread and wine, and he was the sacrificial lamb. Okay, other groups. The sacrifice is still practiced by some groups, such as Beta Israel, Karaite, and Samaritan communities. Now, let's go to the word. Okay, so in Exodus 12, it says, "And the Lord Yahweh spoke unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, which is also Mitzrayim, saying, This month shall be unto you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year to you. Speak unto all the congregation of Israel, saying, In the 10th day of this month they shall take to them every man a lamb according to the house of their fathers, a lamb for a house. And if the household be too little for the lamb, let him and his neighbor next unto his house take it according to the number of the souls. Every man according to his eating shall make your account for the lamb. Your lamb shall be without blemish, a male of the first year. You shall take it out from the sheep or from the goats. And you shall keep it up until the 14th day of the same month. And the whole assembly of the congregation of Israel shall kill it in the evening. And they shall take of the blood and strike it on the two side posts, and on the upper door posts of the houses wherein they shall eat it. And they shall eat the flesh in that night, roast with fire and unleavened bread, and with bitter herbs they shall eat it. Eat not of it raw, nor sodden it all with water, but roast with fire, his head with his legs, and with the purtenance thereof. And you shall let nothing of it remain until the morning. And that which remains of it until the morning you shall burn with fire. And thus shall you eat it, with your loins girded, your shoes on your feet, and your staff in your hand. And you shall eat it in haste. It is Yahweh's Passover. For I will pass through the land of Egypt this night, and will smite all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both man and beast, and against all the gods of Egypt I will execute judgment. I am Yahweh. And the blood shall be to you for a token upon the houses where you are. And when I see the blood, I will pass over you, and the plague shall not be upon you to destroy you. when I smite the land of Egypt. And this day shall be unto you for a memorial, and you shall keep it a feast to Yahweh throughout your generations. You shall keep it a feast by ordinance forever. Now, another thing we need to keep in mind is that Egypt means the house of bondage. Okay, they were actually in the land of Mitzrayim. Okay, now, the month that they were to do this was the month of Abib, or the first month until the year. Okay, so here, of the year. I meant of the year. Okay, in the Hebrew calendar, Abib, meaning sprouting or green ears of grain, is the first month, corresponding roughly to March or April in the Gregorian calendar, and is later known as Nisan. The month of Abib was considered the beginning of the year by the Israelites. It's their new year, as it was the month they were delivered from slavery in Egypt, marking the first Passover. All right, after the Babylonian exile, Abib was renamed Nisan, and this name is now used in the Jewish calendar. But in an original Paleo Hebrew calendar, they would use Abib. Okay, the month is the beginning of the barley harvest, which is why it's also called the month of green ears. Now, the time of year, it says Abib typically falls during the spring months of March and April, coinciding with the spring equinox. Okay, so the beginning of spring. Let's go here. Okay, those are a couple of other pages I was looking at, but we're not going to talk about those. Okay, so while March 21st is often associated with the start of spring, the vernal equinox, which marks the beginning of spring in the northern hemisphere, can actually fall on March 19th, 20th, or 21st, depending on the year and the time zone. Okay, so when I was growing up, I always remembered spring was always March 21st. Okay, so here it says solstices and equinox dates. March 21st, day and night become equal. Spring begins in the northern hemisphere, while the southern hemisphere enters autumn. June 21st, summer solstice, the longest day and shortest night of the year. It is also known as the summer solstice. Okay, so we're only interested in the equinox here, not the summer solstice. Now, another thing that I wanted to point out is this. The lamb was taken and kept up until the 14th day of the same month. So 14 days after the 21st, we would have 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 1, 2, 3, 4. That would be April 4th. Okay, that's the 14th day after the same month. Okay, now we pointed out these coincidences, that the Passover that was celebrated in 1968 is the same as the Passover celebrated this year. Okay, April 5th. Okay, the real Passover is April 5th. I'm sorry, it starts April 12th and ends April 20th, the one that they have here. Now, according to the Bible, it would start April 5th, April 4th or 5th. All right, now, we pointed that out. All right, and we also pointed out that Dr. King was taken from the earth on the date that the Passover would be observed according to the Bible. All right. Also, keep in mind that Saturday, April 5th is the Sabbath. So anyone who regards the biblical Sabbath, according to what the word says, it should be the 7th day of the week, would not be out protesting anyway, because that's a day of rest, it's a day of worship, and it's a day of meditation and reflection. All right, so that wouldn't even be a day that a true Israelite would want to go out and participate in a protest. A true Israelite that's really trying to honor the word would stay and honor the Most High's day of rest. All right. So we pointed out those three things. All right. So I want you to consider this, because the people that run the world, they know a lot about spirituality and doing things on certain days so that they can get certain energies. Okay. And this is the date that Dr. King was assassinated on, the day after, rather. And so I don't think it's a coincidence that they're starting this protest or having this big protest on that date. It's a reason for that. And these people that run things, they use certain things in the Bible and they do certain rituals in reverse to get energy. Okay, and so I know some of you might be wondering, well, what kind of energy? Go and look that up, how people get energy from certain events. They do a lot of things to elicit emotional responses from our people, just like them trying to say they're going to pardon Derek Chauvin, lifting the ban on segregation in federal buildings, removing the Black Lives Matters Plaza in D.C. All of these things have been done to try to elicit a response from our people, because a lot of people are aware that they do want to institute martial law in this nation when on July 2024, or in July 2024, when the announcement was made that the Supreme Court passed a ruling that if the president thought the nation's security was at risk, he could declare martial law. They probably knew that they were going to be trying to do some things to try to incite events that would make that happen. And a lot of the protests that our people have been in, we know that they send agitators. That's in the last video I made about April 5th is a no-no. The umbrella man was sent to create chaos in the peaceful protests. Okay, so to my people, I'm saying please do not go out there and march, because the nation has shown that they are really not for our people. From the inception of this nation, declaring our people 3/5 human, they haven't honored what they agreed to in the Emancipation Proclamation, the Civil Rights Act, even the rights that we should have under the Constitution. They're constantly trying to take those rights from us or put up obstacles so that we cannot partake of those rights. Okay, so now the Most High is dealing with this nation. He's judging this nation. And so we need to just step back and pray to the Most High Yah and watch him do what he's doing. Now I have another video to show you here. It's of Dr. King's April 3rd speech. I'm going to move it up. This is April 3rd when he gave the mountaintop speech. Okay, so let me start here. It might be, let me see if it's on. Okay, I'm going to play it at a faster speed because maybe that'll make it to where it won't get flagged. This video won't get flagged. If you want to hear it at the regular speed, you can pull it up. Okay.
And he's allowed me to go up to the mountain. And I've looked over and I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land. So I'm happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord.
This is a CBS News special report. Dan Rattle reporting for CBS News from New York. The Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. was shot to death by an assassin yesterday as he stood on a balcony in Memphis, Tennessee. Dr. King had planned to lead another civil rights march in Memphis next Monday. We got the latest on the story now from Russ Hodge, news director of WREC-TV.
Okay, so we just watched that video and showed I've been to the mountaintop speech and what transpired afterwards. I'm going to play another video that I found after I had completed one video that I recorded for this, and then I found another one afterwards, so I re-recorded it. But I also uploaded another one. I might leave that up because you know when you're flowing, sometimes you flow differently in another video. But I'm going to end it with this next video, and I pray that the Most High blesses you all. But Dr. King even said that he was tired of marching. So let me go ahead and play this other clip for you. And with that, I will bid you peace and blessings. And just consider what's been posted and pray about it, and pray for everything that's going on with our people. And you know, and I also pray for the people that have a true and honest heart of other groups that really do want to see just and equity in this nation, and who really want to seek the Most High, Yah, the true and living Allah Hayam, or the true and living God. Be blessed.
I'm tired of marching. Tired of marching for something that should have been mine at birth. I don't mind saying to you tonight. I don't mind saying to you tonight that I'm tired of the tension surrounding our day. I don't mind saying to you tonight that I'm tired of living every day under the threat of death. I have no martyr complex. I want to live as long as anybody in this building tonight. And sometimes I begin to doubt whether I'm going to make it through. I must confess I'm tired.